Hey, good evening. Welcome to my channel, Under Darkness. Yours truly, the number one grinder, one of the best kept secrets on YouTube, the best of the business. Be putting it down for a long time. Come and join. Read this. Come enjoy real conversations with the number one grinder, us as the righteous one individually. Let's make a change within ourselves and genuine being there for each other. We all we got. We all we got. We all we got. Hold on, family. I'll be right back. Let me take care of this technical difficulty. You're not back. I'm back. Well, this is gonna be very serious tonight. We gotta talk about ego driven have to be in control. Ego driven have to be in control. I will explain. And there are two articles in there that we're going to discuss about it. And it's very, very important. It's very, very important. So what we're going to do, um, get this going. So after this intro, we gonna dig into it. Be back. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. Welcome, 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 welcome. My channel is Underrated Dark. This is yours truly, the Underrated Dark, Keisha Toya. I hope you get better. Sex, you get the flu, or I hope you get better. I'm glad that you here. Sexy too much. Send me the email right now. Let me know you email me so I can plug you, in. All right, email me right now if you can. Let me know that you email me. Um, Tonight we have to talk about this. Um, Ego driven has to be in control. Ego driven has to be in control. I will explain. Sir, Donalo, what's good? Thanks for coming. Appreciate you. So why why I discover this? Because there is a problem. As y'all can see in your families, your friends, associates, etc. Ego driven could be a good thing. Self confidence, very sure of yourself, better yourself, positive in all ways. But also, it could be a negative. And we had to explore this, especially in these spaces. And we have to understand not everybody is about of our interests. Okay, we got a lot of backstabbing. Beautiful animator, how you feel? Glad to see you. And we have to have, that's why I always said we got to, one of my hashtags, we got to have the sharp eye of truth. The sharp eye of truth. That's one of my old hashtags I make. I got to bring back my hashtags too. The sharp eye of truth. That's what we got to have. We got to have authentic listening too. So we're going to get into it right now. There's enough people in here. So I want to welcome everybody to the chat. Now, the articles that I'm going to read it is in the chat. Okay, sexy. I'll let you know. I'll get to it. It's in the chat. Okay? And we're going to discuss this very, very seriously. So this one is so far sarcastic questions, and I'm gonna read that. Y'all could click that on because it's in the chat. Okay, it's from sarcastic Q&A. What does it mean is ego driven? Number one answer is explanation. To be ego driven, that the person in question gets very well motivated by themselves, like I was talking about. They may also think that their actions are the best ones. And sometimes they may not be considered others' actions. We will talk about that. But in general, ego driven is that a person has good confidence in themselves and that they do not need support from others to reach their goals. If can sometimes be a bad thing since they may get too self-centered. Frugal. Okay. That is the first article that we're going to discuss about this very we're going to discuss about it. Like I said, you can click on it. It's in the chat. You can click on it. Now, it's nothing wrong being self. It's nothing else. People, there's people like they in this space. They really don't know the difference. They really don't know the difference. Is that like for me, the number one grinder? I be grinded. I am self-centered in a positive, constructive way. But it doesn't mean that I have to have, a space to grow too. but I'm very sure of myself. I know what I'm doing. I know what I put out. I know what I'm capable of. I know what I'm capable of. And also, I'm self motivated. And there are some people said that I'm very inspiring. I motivate them. Juan G in the building. Thanks for coming. And that's me because I'm versatile. Because I want to put this in. This what is coming about, family. That sometimes we so stuck because we're not versatile of our growth. We're not versatile of being self-centered. We not willing to learn nuances about ourselves. We do not want to tap in our own newly possibilities of ourselves. And that's when we start having the negative side of the ego driven because we stuck. And we don't want to be stuck because there are people in this space, they want us to be stuck. So we're gonna talk about that very, very carefully. That means we gotta observe their attitudes. That means they become busybodies. They wanna whisper something about another person and then on something because they figure that they ego driven, but those are false ego driven. That means they not sure about themselves. They could talk all that they want to, but they not really sure of themselves. When you want to knock down another person, you're not driven. You're not sure of yourself. You really don't have a purpose. You got phantom purpose. Joy, how you feel, sweetie? Thanks for coming. So we have to understand, and it's like we doing with fake people have had fake ego driven. They have ego driven in wrong priorities, and we have to understand that. Let's go back in the article. It says they may also think. Now, people say, where you should read it from? It's in the first article. Y'all can click on that right now, and then y'all can go y'all can go see what I'm saying. Now the second paragraph. They may also think that their actions are the best ones, and sometimes they may not consider other actions. See, this is when their head get bigger of nothing. They figure wherever. What they talking about? Oh, okay. They sent me something. So they figure they got this certain knowledge and they want to put it on you. Though. Oh, you supposed to do it. But look at me. But they have to understand that your actions is different from theirs. They not transparent to you. And that's the most important thing we got to. Oh, how you feel? WFT, thanks for coming. Appreciate that. Thank you. And so we have to understand that of the paragraph. Let me read it again. Now, like the ones just came in, it's the first article that I pushed that I posted. I want y'all to check that out. That's what I'm talking about right now. There's 2 articles that I posted, but they was talking about this because they feel that what they saying is the best, right? And we see quite a few people that's in here, especially the OGs and the elders, right? Some elders and some OGs. They figure what they saying is right? But you notice though, they are not being humble to hear what you could bring to the table. So that means that is the negative part of the ego driven that they showing you and showing us because they not willing to grow. And so what we must have to do that when we have things that inspire us and everything, we have to understand it doesn't fit the next person. It doesn't mean that person is bad, but it doesn't fit that person. So that means that we got to learn to simplify. When we simplify to what they know,
everything would be fine after that. I need to throw that in because sometimes there is a block of the ego driven that sometimes we get stuck on, and we figure that our level is better than others, but there's a block. So that's what I'm saying. If you humble and you're self-centered in your way, both people can get the benefit out of it. And then you become, like I say, you become inspiring. People want to come see you because they know you aspiring. You always helping. Like Sir over there, you got the family, beautiful anime, Tone Malone, and others in the chat. You're aspiring. So you gotta be inspired. See, you gotta inspire yourself. But at the same time, to be ego driven, you got to be driven within yourself. That means you have to be, that means you gotta accept that means you gotta be in growth, gotta be in counsel. And that's what it's all about. That quite a few people in the space, that men and women, they fail to understand, and they go by and hop they behind of each chat or each panel, and they figure, oh, I listen to this person so I gain knowledge. But instead of, you got to gain knowledge yourself. You got to find out what that person is all about first, instead of listening to the next person, because that next person do not want you to be ego driven in a positive way. That means we gotta make certain self decisions. Self decisions that some of our brothers and sisters in this space that refuse to do that. So that means they fall for anything. That's when I did a live about blackballed a few months ago. That's basically is really talking about right here. And this is what we got to really consider and stuff like that. And then it's in still in the first article. So after that, we're gonna say this. But in general, ego driven is that the person has good confidence in themselves and that they do not need support from others to reach the goals. Now, let me explain this. You see, this can go either way. You probably know certain things. You don't need that person helping because you got it. But understand again that you gotta let people help, especially like it's for instance, like you get hired to a job. Sir Anthony, always a pleasure. Thanks for coming. Salute to you. Thank you. Let's get them lights. So when y'all come and get the lights up and smash the like button. Let's get them up and share this, please. Thank you very much. So let me read again. But in general, ego driven is that the person has good confidence in themselves and that they do not need support from others to reach their goals. So that means that it depends what circumstances you're in. But when, for instance, like you get a job, you get hired for a job, you're gonna need that person to help you to know about the job, right? And after you know the job, you got goals, you can reach them goals then because you put in the work. You accept the training of the person. So that means that also it could be inspiring because that person wants you to get ahead. But your goals is your goals, right? Now, on the flip side of the negative one, you cannot tell everybody about your goals because there's always going to be a negative stigma that they're trying to stop you. And that's why that we have to be very careful how we entwine with people. You gotta be careful to entwine with people because not everybody is going to be for you to grow. They not. I had to, I learned this throughout the years, and even right now, being as a content creator, even content creators too, and the ones are not content creators, y'all deal with that in life. So y'all know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. And then the last of it says, it can sometimes be a bad thing
since they may get too self-centered, right? That's what I was talking about. We talking about right now. Being self, because that's what I'm saying. Being too self-centered, that means that you're too big. You're not old people. You too big for your britches. That's what it's all about. We too big for being a human being. We think that we are super. We think that nobody cannot tell us nothing. You cannot tell me because I know it all. I got this and got that. But at the same time, what's going to happen? You are alienate good people that could help you. Also, you also the perspective and that comes in the picture is not there. And also priorities comes in the picture. Your priorities not straight. Now, if you believe in God, you understand when it comes. You don't put God first. Everything else you are not getting it. So that's why that we have to make sure we be self-centered in that way, in the spiritual way. Because when we so self-centered in the spiritual way, everything else most likely, matter of fact, it's gonna balance out and everything. And sometimes we see some people in a positive light instead of like we see some people, the ones we supposed to see in a dim light, we don't. So we have to understand we got to be very careful that how we put our energy in. And you absolutely right, Joy. You actually right what you're saying. So understand this, that when you find a sunny boxing talk, what's good? Thank you so much, brother. Brother, you're gonna hit me up later on. But this is what so ego driven is in a negative way and also in a positive way. Now, people gonna say, but number one grinder, how do we know that ego driven is in a positive way for the next for that person? All you do is just sit back and let's look at their patterns. Their patterns is pushing for righteousness. That's when they on time. And the ones that are not, they not. It's a pattern. Ego driven is a pattern. It's a pattern of your attitude, what you think of yourself. If you think yourself that you're positive, yeah. If you think that you're negative, that's what happened. But at the same time, see, when you're negative, you could be negative in what, but hey, ain't no what's so worse? Well, you want to know what the good thing about it? If you want to get better, it's the only way to go up, right? You can't get no way, get no low. But see, if you positive and then when you lose focus, you go all the way down. You see, you cannot be even Q of either way. You're gonna be ego driven in a negative way or in a positive way. So either one, but just understand if it's anything that deals with negativity, you know yourself because we imperfect, right? You have the growth. That you have the mindset, brother. Good brother Rob, thanks for coming. I appreciate that. So the only way you're gonna rise to occasion, but you got surrounded by people that knows your potential, especially your ego driven, especially like you aspire people. Okay, so that's the first article. We're gonna go to the second article. Pull it up. Second article. Okay. Second article. And now the first article is in the chat, right? But I'm gonna pull up the second article right now. Now we're gonna talk about egotistical. Egotistical. Let me read this. It's in the lot. I mean, it's in the chat. Y'all can hit that and y'all can read with me. It says someone who is egotistical is full of himself, complete of self-absorbed, like egotistical actor who blocks the audience view of every other actor in the play during the curtain. So
so he could hog the applause. The prefix ego refers to a person's sense or self-importance. Excuse me. To be egotistical is to have a infatuated view of your self-importance. Basically, to think that you're better than anyone else, you might express this egotism by constantly reminding your friends that you have a fantastic figure or magnified mind. And definition of egotism is adjective characteristics of those having a inflated idea of their own importance. Synonyms: egotistical, narcissical, self-loving, selfish. Number two, the adjective characteristic of false pride, having a in great in greater sense of self-importance and egotistical discard of others. Synonyms: conceited, egotistical, self-conceited, swollen heads with proud feelings, self-respect or pleasure in something in which you measure your self-worth or being reason for pride. So let's tap into that. Let's tap into that. Let's tap into number one adjectives and characteristics of those having inflated ideas of their own importance. There's nothing wrong with that. You want to feel important. God gave you the mind and soul to be important, right? So you want to be important, but check it out. Sim is egotistical, but at the same time, but the bad part of us, number said egotistical, narcissistic, self-love, and selfishness. Now, you see a lot, you see quite a few of our brothers and sisters in the spaces like that, right? They feel that their world is the best world, so they could push it on us, right? You know, they figure that whatever they say is law. So we have to. Now we're gonna read a not statistic, and we're gonna read this, and we're gonna talk about this. If you can't stop talking about yourself, obsessed constantly about the way you look, you could be exhibit narcissistic tendencies, meaning that you obsess with yourself, especially your outside appearance. Now, we see people here that don't have no purpose, that has false purpose with themselves, but they want to be something that they not. There are some that are women that wants to be that there's women that has man traits, and they also men has women traits. We see that in here. We see that in here. They not in tune of the feminine as women, and also they not in contact with they when they of their masculinity. And so quite a few of them, we say they confused, but they had not been around basic, positive, sure of people that could bring them happiness and confidence. So we see them that, let me get to the men. That's why you find these men, they got female qualities. So they act like, yes, it is. So you got men, they act like women. And they say, I'm a man, but you have female qualities. So you want to be under a woman and you just want to talk about people and you want to have subliminal shots of a man that that man cannot defend himself, but you see how they act in a certain way. So so I said that you might as well have panties on you and stuff like that. And so they got this narcissistic way, how to be. And also, and that's when like you guys, you see some, they are male feminists. So these are people that we have to be very careful
Now I'm talking to men now. You have to be very careful. You really, really have to observe how they move. Now, they probably not treat you that way, but guarantee they probably treat somebody that you know, and you have to be very careful. So that's when you have to question their masculinity because they not being the man that they should. Now we don't get to the women. Now there are some women in here that have masculine energy. And see, these little women, they figure like, I could say what I want, I could do what I want, and then they pull up like when they didn't want to talk as a man and stuff like that. And also, women, you have to pay attention to that because that is not in accordance of what's going on as being a woman. That same thing as a man. So you have to really look at they feminine. If they really, really feminine, they would go in accordance of that, you know. So we have to understand that this narcissistic is really happening on both sides, and this is deals with within the ego driven. And then when they told me that's when the negative of ego driven that has occurred. So we have to watch out for that, family. We definitely have to watch out for that. And let me lost my thought. Let me see. And let me see. Hold on, family. Yes, you can. I don't know why people trying to every time somebody texts me, it just push me out and everything. So hold on, fam. Hold on. Mm-hmm. But I think that's the thing that we have to understand that when we deal with people like that, and um just to understand that, hold on, it's a lot. So then people say, what is you really talking about? Number one grinder is this that. Now you really have to pay attention to how they move. Just like I give you case in point. You be on panel, right? Cooking with CER. Thanks for coming, bro. I'm glad that you come back. They Yeah, it is. You're right, Sir Anthony. So you see a person on a panel, right? And this person is very driven in the wrong way, right? But you see how this person, he or she acknowledge everybody except you because so they don't acknowledge you. So you, as a human being, you check them and say, well, why you don't want to say that? Well, I hear certain things about you and stuff like that instead of ask, right? So that means that they want drama. If you see the thumbnail, it says no ego, how to bypass ego driven drama. Cause see, these people is all these some of these men and women in this space, they all about drama, right? Or whenever anybody talk about drama, right? Just sit back. Just observe from the clouds. You be somebody, they come like I'm not saying all of them. I'm not saying all of them because there are some probably want to come and trying to rectify the issue and help. So I'm not saying all of them, but I guarantee you, if you see them in multiple chats and panels, trust and believe you could know that they all about drama. But for the rest of us, we all about helping, right? Because we very sure of ourselves, right? We very sure of ourselves because we want to help, because we know what we bring to the table, because we know that we very pure, we pure and positively.
Let me say it again. We sure of ourselves because we sure of our positively, despite that we are imperfect. See, the ones that they're also imperfect, but they do not want to help themselves. They want to go where the action is at, and sometimes all action is not good action. Let me say it again. Sometimes all action is not good action. So we have to really observe that really that we really understand that sometimes of their ego driven, they are not going to grow. They not going to grow. So what we have to do, um we have to really check it out, y'all. We really have to really understand um what it really is. Okay. And hold on, there's something that I want to check. So bear with me, family. Bear with me. But also let me bring this up too. Now there are some people also ask that how do you know if someone is ego driven? Number one, subdued signs which shows that you have a ego problem. That's number one. Number two, you'll detest criticism. That's number two. Number three, you constantly compare yourself to others and feel that you are better to them. We did talk about that is three. Number four, you must always win. Aha. We also see that too, right? See, let me stop that. See, the people don't always win. See, that means they not willing to be in a team player. Being a team player, you understand the person what they have right now, they move the team in the right way to be positive. See, there's a lot of them, they want to be leaders, but they don't want to be team players. I'm a leader, but also I'm a team player. So we have to learn to be team players. That's part of ego driven. Sometimes you got to put your plan in the pocket and let the he or she lead to prominence, right? That's three. I mean that's four. Number five, you tend to interrupt others a lot. Yeah, so we see that, right? Because there are egotistical people. That's what egotistical a person do. They always interrupt you before you bring out your point because they want to see themselves in a higher pedestal. So, but we have to understand that's part of ego driven and being sarcastic. Okay, so we gotta watch out for those two. That's that's number five. Number six, you have no sense of gratitude. Now let's stop right there. Now we see someone's like this. They got like they stuff don't stink, right? No gratitude that they don't have no gratitude that you trying to help them and salute them on what they do or whatever they do wrong that you help them. And so they look at you like you beneath them. And that's also we see in this space too. No gratitude of righteousness. These are unrighteous people. They don't have no gratitude of righteousness. Okay. Number seven, you love to take the credit. You love to take the credit for success. So that means that if a person, let me use D Hodges. D Hodges, D Hodges did a project that he finished. I helped him with it, but he the one brought it home, and I just help him. But all of a sudden, I just want to block his shine and said, I want to block his shine. I want the credit because I did it. But D. Hodges put me on and stuff like that. Why I didn't give D. Hodges the credit? See, these are the, I'm using D. Hodges as an example. See, these are the people that we're dealing with too. Did they want to eat off you? But they want to get the credit. And not good. Oh, thank you, beautiful animated. Thank you. Thank you for the super chat. He said people with egos are assholes. Yeah. Yes. Yes, they are. And so we have to look at these people too. You know? So I'm gonna read number 7. You love to take credit for success. So if you do a good job, you do it by yourself. Yeah, you should take credit for yourself because you did it on yourself. But if you work as a team, you know, especially I hate the ones they don't hardly put nothing. They haven't done nothing, but they want to sit back and take the credit. No, that's for some attitude advertisement. What they showing you. Okay, so we got to be careful that we got to watch out for the people that way. And lastly, number 8, you are too defensive. You are too defensive. That means, family, that you could do something wrong, right? And you know what you do was wrong, but you ain't be defensive about it because you figure you got it. Ain't nothing wrong with me. Something is wrong with you. It's all about you. It's not about me. It's you. It's you. I don't have a problem. You got the problem. And if you know that there's a pattern, that means that they are very defensive. They refuse to see what they do wrong, just as in this space. We find out quite a few people refuse what they do wrong. So they want to pass it on to others to make it seem that it's on them. No, it's you. You the one caused the pain. You the one caused the misery. And when the human being clap back at you to let you know what you do wrong, no, you want to be submissive. No, you cannot come after me. Yo, yes, I can. Because if you come after GRINDA existence, I have the right to defend it. Especially I know that it's not true. Especially you go by hearsay. And when a person go by hearsay, right? You know, they not driven. They let their ego get blown out. I call them fake blow up afros that they want to. I just made it up, family. But y'all know what I mean. Okay, so yo, we gonna hit this. Let me see. I'm not gonna keep y'all that long. Let's see. I'm gonna post another link to y'all. Hold on, I'll be right back in a few seconds. Thanks for your patience. Um, there's a link right there. It's also in the chat. I just posted 7 suitable signs which show that you have a ego problem. And ego is an imitate thing that exists within us. Everyone has it. Having a healthy is very important, like we was talking before. However, your ego becomes a problem when it's negative, controls your emotion, thoughts, and reactions. We did talk about that too. This was posted May 15th of this year.
Okay, but I did post it in the chat, so y'all can look at it afterwards if you want. I advise y'all to look at all that's just 3 hours, look at all 3 articles, please, and have further discussion of it. In Scientific America, Barry Kaufman defines ego that aspects of self that has the insane need to seen in a positive light. Truly, ego become an unpleasant trait once climbed to exaggerate feelings of self-importance. Although there is a tendency to confuse ego with confidence, one is slightly different from the other. Unlikely confidence ego operates out of self-interest because of people whose lives are driven by their egos, mostly overconfident, and think they are always right regardless in the actual facts. Now, also, I'm gonna read this from Quincy Jones, and we're gonna go by 7 quickly because like I said, I'm not gonna keep y'all up all night. I no, I'm not gonna do that. So, ego is an overdose insecurity. Quincy Jones, tell tell signs of your ego. It's in charge of arrogance, difficult in acknowledging the opinions of others, and paying no attention to your own personal flaws. Here are simply ways to know if you have an ego problem. Number one, your detest criticism. Your ego is in play if you never want anyone to criticize you. Ego prevents you from listening to others, even if their intentions are good. A blatant refusal to accept another point of view or feedback is what an egotistical individual would do. The truth hurts, and anyone with a bloated ego may not want to beat the truth from others. And you know, you can be how to handle the trick is to be proactive, not not reactive. Pause for a moment and to think twice before responding. All right. Number two, constantly compare yourself to others and to feel you are better than them. Can you remember the time that your coworker get promoted at work when you instantly became envious to the point of refusing to congratulate them? That was your ego at work. People with inflated egos usually don't appreciate success story of others when you begin to think you are better than others and that you are deserved better than them. It's time to put your ego in check. That we also see that we did touch on that and everything. And Dr. Yovar Datio says the ego is the worst confidence trickster could ever imagine. And that is so true. I'm going to read number two. So while we read number two, right, we do see that people do lie about what they have. They not in truth, where they live at. They not in truth, what job they have, or and these are the ones that they just really talk about. They make sure that they better than you. They put you down, but come to find out, they're on the same level you are. But understand this, family, you striving to be better. They not. They want to keep you down because they down. Can't let that happen. So let's hit number three. You must always win. No one losing, but egotistical people will do anything to win, even means cutting corners, tell lies, or being deceitful. For them, the end is more important than it means. I'm gonna So what that really means, you as we already see outside of space, inside space, they always want to win. I'm just breaking it down, family, to extend the time because we did talk about this like over little about 40 some minutes ago. But I want y'all to really understand that there is a extended definition of these, and I want us to really to expand it, and also in the near future to really talk about it. They had the rest of this, so I'm gonna go by this equal. Okay, now we're gonna hit four. You tend to interrupt others a lot. People with ego problems tend to value only their own opinions. They feel the need to let others hear what they have to say, even if they are wrong. See, and let me read this part. Sorry. Warren wanted to be the only person whose voice is heard in a room of people isn't a surprising trait of egotistical people based on expectations they have set for themselves. They believe they are smarter and more in control than anybody else. So that means that even though even though they know that you're right, they still wants to be part of the party. They still want to stick their chests out. Man or woman doesn't make a difference. So, um, these are the ones that are the negative side of ego driven. Okay. You can read the rest how to deal with it because, like I said, the article was in there, so you can read the rest of it. Now we're gonna go to number five. You have no sense of gratitude. If you feel entitled, do not appreciate the effort of others. Do not feel need to thank others when they do things for you. Your ego is in play. Ungratefulness usually comes with a sense of entitlement. Ooh. And research has shown that those who lack gratitude do so because of their inflated sense of self-worth. As we see that too. There's a lot of ungrateful ones in here that you could just put up a live or a video and great information to inspire others. Great information to inspire others, but as we see that they don't have no gratitude. They look at you like that, like you ain't nothing. They look at your message like this ain't nothing. That means they full of it. They full of inflated sense of self-worth. I'm gonna add this one. False inflated sense of self-worth. That's who they are. So we know who they are. So please stay away from it because, like I said, it's gonna block the growth of your own self-worth of ego driven. All right. All right. Let me read this part. How to deal with it. Be thankful, even the little things. Stay humble too. Humble is a virtue, and it comes with being true to oneself. Give compliments, well deserved ones when it's due. That's what we do. You know what I'm saying? We don't do that enough. I had people come to me and say, number one grinder, I love your channel. Why people don't look out for you? I'm not looking for that. I just do what I have to do. There are a lot of self-centered people, a lot of airhead people in here. They know who the trueness is. They know what I bring to the table because I know what I bring to the table through the grace of God. As long as I help people, that's all what counts. I really, so that means that like the old people were saying, that means you have to, it's not in the article, but let me say that means you have to develop thick skin. Okay, so let's develop thick skin, family, and we're gonna be all right. When our time comes, because listen, anybody wants, I'm talking about the righteous ones, anybody that wants to be noticed, they want to know that, whatever content they pull out is good, because all content is not good. That I know that, family. But the ones who's bringing that inspire people, not just inspire the bad ones, but keep the bad, but inspire all so they could so they could see themselves doing great. So that's what it's all about. Be humble. Be humble and have that humility. That's what I always strive for. Be him. All right, maybe they not listening, but as long as I keep on grinding and bring the truth the best way I can, it will prevail. It's not gonna come when I want to, but it will come. So that's why I grind. That's part of my purpose. Is grind, and I urge y'all to do the same thing. Keep on doing it. Now, number 6, your love, to take the credit for success. Even when working in a team, egotistic people don't mind being recognized for the success of the team. Others come second, while the individual position take priority above all others. People with big egos always want to be in the spotlight. They are attention seekers. At meetings, at parties, during meetings, link ups, they always want to be in the center stage, soaking all the skirt, all the stars and recognition. They love to be leaders who assert authority with everything being done the exact they want it. So we're gonna start from right there. Okay. Um, that's what we seeing here, right? Like there are some big YouTubers. They go and these small YouTubers. They steal their ideas, steal their content, and and they incorporate others and everything. And then if you're not being careful, they be copying. I know there's some copy from me and everything, but that's when the pay homage comes into the people. We don't pay homage, that we should. Okay, so it goes as how to deal with it. It may be a hard pill to swallow if you realize that you have egotistical tendencies. However, make a conscious decision to work with others as a team is important. Step back where necessary and commit to achieve success as a group and not as just individually. Give room for others to see too. So just as with Sir Badiah, what's good? What's good? What's good with the homie? Thank you. What's up, Maurice? What's good? He finally made it here. Thank you. But see, that's what we see in here. We are see sometimes in the past, I know we see prominent groups, but you know what happened? It'd be like one or two. They don't want to follow the righteous script, but they don't have experience to be creative. So what happened was they want to just fall out. They want to talk about people. They want to assassinate other what they all about and everything. And so we gotta watch out for that too, men and women in this space. We gotta watch out for that. We gotta watch out for these see some. I'm not saying all groups is like that because they not in this space, but there are some. They are very questionable. That they can it's about them. So what we have to understand that it's like, for instance, I pick my brother Sir Adayu, right? If I'm on this panel, when I'm on this panel, and he created a title that turned into a discussion and it grow to be a successful, right? I have to let him know that he created. He don't want to do that. I'm just a team player, and I should salute him. I should tell him I like what he do, and even more stuff of anybody. I'm a team player. See, that's what we don't do. We want to take some people ideas, and then we want to go, oh yeah, this is mine. Look at it and everything. Kind of find you look at this person like, really? You eating off me? You're eating off me, and that's not. And you know what? That's now you're being disrespectful. Now you disrespect their existence. You disrespecting what righteousness that they bring into the table. You disrespect of the hard work that they create this content, and especially about their life experience or with the information that they work hard to give it to the people, give it to the masses. And so we could benefit. So we gotta watch out for people like that, because a lot of them like to steal and stuff like that. And because they don't have nothing themselves. Okay. And also say how to deal with it. Oh, I read that already. Now we're going to hit 7. 7, you are too defensive. We did talk about this a little hour ago. If you turn a subdued disagreement into fight, your ego could be a little fragile. Ego push you to a point, even if someone is trying to air your opinion, you take it in a personal attack or an insult. No one can talk to you because you always right. See, this is the thing what we did talk about this earlier. People, there are some people that they use ego driven in the wrong way because that's all they know. But it doesn't mean that you have to be part of it. You don't have to be part of it because they narrow minded. These are narrow-minded individuals that, yeah, you gotta understand. Yeah, we want them to go away and stuff. We want them to do whatever. But don't worry about, because if they follow these steps here, they're gonna disappear. They're gonna, you know what I'm saying? They're gonna get called out. They're gonna get recognized of a false nastiness, what they all about. Okay, so just keep on doing what you gotta do, fam. Keep on doing what you gotta do to push to be in an ego driven process, so you could benefit and other ones could benefit. All right. Make sure that your ego is intact. Okay, that's very important. I need to throw that in. Um. So So I think that's the last one. That's 7, and that's the last one. And then I put that article is in the chat. So let me read some more of this. It's what's my thought? Let me see. Okay, truthfully, our ego leads attached self to external praise while it seeks to avert criticism. One thing defensive react does is that it prevents from dealing with others unbeneathly, since we are forced on getting a reaction from them and not because we wish to engage with them. And how to deal with this? Not everything is said from a point of attack. Active listening will help you check your emotions and separate bad criticism from conservative ones. Pause and think twice before reaction. And so this is what we must have to do, and to really be ego driven. Please, if you it'd be very much appreciated if you have. I do got a cash app. It's $ capital JT 530005000. Also paypal.me/ all cash and / JT Black 53. If you want to donate, please hit the like button and also share this out and be greatly appreciated. Okay, so I gave you 3 articles. Please look over it, discuss it with your family. All right, that is very important. And they are, like I said, ego driven could be a positive. Also, it could be the negative. Let's stay away from the negative. Okay, there's nothing wrong being self-centered if you're sure of yourself, but understand that you want to have the growth to be strive to be better. But if you're ego driven, just remember you ego driven. While that person negative, you're not going to grow. They're just going to be in stagnant. They not going to work on themselves. They're going to think everything is about them, and they just going to steal from you and hold it to themselves. And then they're not working by themselves. They're working in groups. So we have to be very, 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 very careful. Okay? And that's very important. Cooking with CCR, he said ego is a negative feeling that sometimes make people take the wrong path. In contrast, self-respect is a positive feeling that gives people control and confidence. Yeah, exactly. We did talk about it. Excellent point. And that is a talk about. So let's understand here this ego driven could be a positive thing if we apply it constructively. Also, ego driven could be a negative thing when you have a big head and brother CER say you take the wrong path. And then when you take the wrong path, sometimes you can always get on the right path, but sometimes they take the wrong path. Sometimes you cannot come back with because those are decisions. So let's make sure of ego driven. We want to be on the positive side so we can make better sound decisions. And also, like I always say, visual never lie, and also make sure we tune in on our authentic listening, and that is very important. So that's all I want to give to y'all. I always want to talk about this. I gave you 3 articles. I hope you enjoy it. um and please have people on the comment. Very important, and let's get them lights up. And if it's okay, if you feel it's up to donate, again, it's Cash App capital JT 53000 or PayPal.me/ all in caps JT Black 53. Okay, so understand that there's a positive of ego driven and also the negative for evil driven. And like I said, you got the article. So I want to thank y'all so much to make time because y'all didn't have to, but you did. I very much appreciate it. I don't take y'all for granted at all. Also, if anybody that is traveling to your destination or home, right? Make sure that you by yourself, or you travel in a group, and make sure you take every safety precaution out there because the climate out there is real and it's crazy. And shout out to the people in Louisiana. It was bad. Up in New York, they have bad flooded in certain parts of New York, and also in Jersey. So that much prayers out to them. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna dedicate this live to them, to people in Louisiana, people in New York, and people in Jersey, and even other parts too has been suffer flood and all that. So so our prayers is going out to all of them. Okay, so on behalf of my channel, The Underrated Darkness, yours truly, the number one grinder. Stay blessed out there and keep on striving to be positive. All right. And this is the last of ego driven to be in control. So it has to be in control. So stay blessed. Until next time, good night. This one is Ghost.